fall is definitely here and it shows when you're raking up the yard. But anyhow, I wanted to go ahead and address a constant question that I've been getting from a lot of patients, friends, and family is on what they can do to protect themselves this fall from that infamous coworker that is just hacking up a log and spreading their germs everywhere and not quite going home. So, with that being said, I want you guys to be proactive so then that way your system is ready to fight and you don't fall sick. So, anyhow, with that being said, I'm done raking up the yard today. So, let's go inside and talk about these tips. So, I'll see you shortly. And we are back. So I wanted to make sure you guys got some good advice of what you can do so you don't fall prey to that coworker that's hacking up along and spreading their bacterial or viral infection everywhere. So the only logical thing you can do, which you can't take your coworker, out of the workplace, is you might as well just be proactive. So proactive in your health. So, tip number one is definitely go see your local acupuncturist and get a change in seasons treatment. Change in seasons treatment is so important. It's been utilized in China for thousands and thousands of years, and we're going from one extreme season, especially, to another. So, in this case, we're going from the extreme of summer down to fall. So then the acupuncture treatment will be tailored to allow your body to adapt to those changes. It could also incorporate also just immune boosting points. That way your body also knows what to do if there is a possibility of current infection at that time. Or even for that matter, if you're sick, go see an acupuncturist at that time. That way your acupuncturist can clear out that infection, or as we know it in traditional Chinese medicine, clear that external pathogen out. So that would be the first piece of advice that I would give. Tip number two would be get some vitamin C in you. Vitamin C is going to help out your immune system, making sure it's warding off any possible infection of bacterial or viral coming from that coworker. So that's something you can do. So incorporating vitamin C, a couple grams a day would be good. You know, you've taken too much if you start having a little bit of gastrointestinal discomfort. So that would be tip number two. Tip number three would be if you haven't checked your vitamin D levels, make sure you get those checked so then that way we know where your levels are at and appropriately dose vitamin C according to your levels. Vitamin D is important with your immune system, so if that's falling behind, then that also explains why now your susceptibility to getting sick increases. So as we know, people start getting sick in the fall and in the winter, and that's because now we're seeing less sun. So that goes along with vitamin D. So making sure you have appropriate vitamin D levels, and if they are too low, definitely dosing to get those levels up. Number four would be getting some supplements in regards to just immune boosting herbs in. A favorite is going to be Astragalus. I think that's a great one to suggest to everyone just because it does help with any immune boosting effect. It helps ward off any bacterial and also viral, so that's always a great supplement to take on hand. Next would be in regards to sleep. Sleep is something that we start to fall into a deficit because there's so much more to do. If you've returned back to school, you're in the grind, or now you're preparing for the holidays because summer's over, or you're getting back from those vacations, and so now you're just hitting up all these deadlines and falling behind in sleep. So sleep's going to be an important piece because if we are getting too little sleep, our immune system starts getting depressed. So getting adequate amounts of sleep, and also for that matter, let's talk about exercise in here too. If you are not getting any kind of exercise, make sure you incorporate some exercise because once again, it does help the body keep up with its immune capabilities of warding off these uninvited bacterial and viral infections. The next is going to be what you shouldn't be eating too much of, and that would be sugar. You know, this is the great pumpkin season where strangers solicit strangers for candy, or at least they give you candy, right? There's candy everywhere. And so that means sugar. And let's just say, any kind of infection needs sugar to survive. So the more sugar you eat in excess, the more of an environment you provide for bacteria or viral infection to just keep growing and then take you down. So making sure you cut back on sugar. Now, since we're in the topic of foods, let's go on to a couple foods that maybe you should also incorporate this fall. One would be garlic. Garlic is amazing. It is like nature's like antimicrobial guy. So incorporating garlic in anything would be ideal. In soups, this is the soup season in a crock pot, so making sure you're incorporating a lot of garlic in there, that would be great. And since we're talking about foods and crock pots, definitely even doing mushrooms, making the stew with mushrooms, or some kind of mushroom soup, onion mushroom soup would be ideal too for a fall food that's also medicinal because it is helping out your immune system. Next would be then zinc. We are in the fall season where the great pumpkin comes out, and instead of just having it raw, on your porch, then definitely keep some of those pumpkin seeds, because those pumpkin seeds are high in zinc, which is very important also in your immune system. So getting adequate amounts of zinc would be ideal. Another food that can also be traded for pumpkin seeds, or you could have it with pumpkin seeds, would be, if you're a tea drinker, Nettles Leaf Tea. Nettles Leaf Tea is also going to help with the histamine response, especially those that are, very susceptible to seasonal allergies. So this would be an ideal thing for you to do. You could always take it in a tincture form or a supplement capsule, but why not make food your medicine or medicine your food, right? So that's where I would recommend having some zinc, with the Nettles Leaf Tea. So that's basically where that's coming from, because it is high in zinc. So with that being said, I hope the rest of your fall goes well, and hopefully keeping also your immune system up. So then that coworker coming in, that doesn't want to go home as he's hacking up a lug, won't really bother you as much. So hope all is well, and I will see you next time.